Get back into the car and go, I got peanuts.
There must be like a Mixler app on the phone, right?
Yeah, I broadcast out of the phone. You can also listen from the phone.
So I could listen to your commute while I'm on my commute?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
It's a real nightmare.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
Nope. I don't talk so much anymore, so it's really just if you want to listen to music.
Just hear you flip around satellite radio.
Yeah, basically.
Do you ever listen to the... God, what was it called? What was that X-rated station?
They took it off.
It's gone?
They took it off.
When did you give me that ride? That was only a couple months ago.
Yeah, so you can still get it on their app. But yeah, I guess that company decided they wanted to go solo and now have an app of their own. They want you to pay a separate monthly fee to listen to.
So lucrative is their business. So wide their listener base.
It was adult radio run by a porn company.
So was it just interviews about the porn industry?
Nope.
Or
no? So this
way worse.
form has been going for years and years. Playboy Channel had something similar called Night Calls, and it was a video show. And people would call in truckers mostly. Truckers love satellite radio, as it turns out. Truckers are the kind of the early adopters of the satellite radio world, and they're still a big part of it.
Truckers also love pornography.
Yes, truckers are also, they are on the road and lonely, so truckers will call in to touch themselves while talking to a lady of porn.
While driving a truck.
And she will say things in a porn-like nature while, maybe driving a truck. I have no idea.
Is this broadcast on the radio?
Satellite radio.
So you hear the truckers on the station?
Yes. They are
Just
callers.
some dude
They're
grunting?
callers to a call-in radio show.
And so she's saying like the stuff she's going to do, and he's like,
No. I mean, it's ostensibly, it's like, the one I heard was almost like a call-in advice show.
Yeah, so there's some advice, but sometimes it's just like, what are you wearing? What do you want me to be wearing? I was like, I'm a bunny suit. A bunny suit. And then
that sounds fascinating.
It is incredibly fascinating.
I found it horrifying.
And also severely horrifying, yeah. But sometimes you'll get like ladies of porn who are of note hosting some of these shows, and people will call in to go, I love all your movies.
Good impression of porn fans.
Yeah. And those are always fun to hear, too. So, so at one point, we got the Playboy channel. And I don't subscribe to it. I don't get it anymore. But it was a video version of the show, and they would take calls. So it was not truckers at that point, I guess. But, people would call in, and they'd be like, I want to see your boobs better. So the camera would oblige. And it's a nightmarish form. It's a nightmarish use of technology that I can only support.
And this is a company that makes money and sustains itself.
Well, it used to be Playboy, and then it was Vivid, which is a renowned, and I believe they have gone off of the satellite radio airwaves to their own website now, where they're selling memberships like you would to a porn site, for example.
Porn industry is really trying everything to stay,
everything
money making.
Yes,
I think.
and everything went bad for them. That's,
terribly.
That's the bottom dropped out of porn at some point because the way the internet is gone for them. They kind of have to figure out new revenue streams. It's very rough.
Satellite radio is such
I think this video game shit is weird, man.
Yeah, let's not get started. Satellite radio is just so weird to me because, it's behind a paywall, so obviously they can run whatever programming they want.
It's behind a paywall, and then on top of that channel and like the Howard Stern channel and Oprah are behind another paywall.
Oh,
like of $3 a month or something like that.
Wait,
on top of the existing fee.
Even when you had it, or Oh, okay,
yeah.
So you're just paying for some premium tier of service.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I think because Howard Stern's contract was so ridiculous when they signed him up that I think that there was just like the fees they were currently getting, they wouldn't be enough for them to pay him.
Right.
So they had to do that. Or realize they could get away with doing that and did it, or whatever it ended up being. But yeah,
it's just I guess the delivery mechanism has always been so sanitized.
Yeah,
under
it's still
the
weird.
auspices of the FCC or whatever. Even though it's like logically, I know A, you're paying for this, and B, it's coming from a satellite, so you have to have like specialized equipment to even hear it.
Yeah.
Like the idea of a radio station playing like X-rated content is just
awesome.
It's hard to process.
It's fucking amazing.
Like when you hear it coming out of the car speakers, it's hard to think about.
Like if you can hear the worst shit imaginable, and I'm not even talking about the porn stuff. I'm talking about the rap stations.
Yeah.
Some of the shows they have, because they'll do mixed shows just like any other rap station would, and it'll just be like people in the studio saying whatever, but now they can really say whatever.
Right.
And you're like, that is maybe the most ignorant, homophobic, racist thing I've ever heard anyone say, and that was one sentence.
And you got to experience it live.
Every week, DJ K. Slay finds a new way to make you go, man, I gotta fucking stop listening to hip-hop. This is fucked up.
Have they ever given Uncle Luke his own show?
No, he may have had one at one. No, actually, he was on regular terrestrial radio in Miami. He may still be.
How did he contain himself?
Uncle Luke is for the children.
Okay.
The Two Life Crew always were. That was that was the secret about that stuff is like no adult has sex like that. That's only something kids want to hear about.
Right.
Yeah, I really like satellite radio, but it's also frivolous and stupid. Like, I don't know that I would recommend it. But when I bought my car, it came with a subscription, and I was like, yeah, I like the idea of uncensored. Actually, it's been really nice. It's gotten me way back into rap music in a way that I'd kind of fallen off, just because it is uncensored, and they are kind of out there playing whatever. But there are plenty of, like, the pop stations. It's not like they don't just curse on every station. They denote, like, these are the explicit lyric stations, and it's the metal station, and these 2 rap stations, and that sort of stuff. But if you go to the pop station and a song with cursing happens to be popular at the moment, they still play the radio edit.
Aren't there even?
Which I think is bullshit.
Aren't there even like stand-up comedy stations, and those are uncensored too?
Yeah.
See, that sounds awesome. I would just
that stuff. Yeah, if you were a trucker and you were in the car all the time, stand-up comedy is weird to me because they always they'll play full sets, but it's a lot of just like, here's track 9 off this CD.
I hate that.
And then track 8 off of this other guy's CD.
So they're doing
like,
callbacks to things you didn't even hear.
Yeah, there's stuff like that happens where you're just like, this. I don't know that's the best way to digest that, but it's not the worst thing in the world. They have like 5 comedy stations.
Is there a wrestling one?
So there are sports. There are a ton of sports things, and I keep hearing that there is some show on there that is a wrestling show. There's not a station,
so you can't just go to one where it's like, oh, here's Austin, Jericho, Ross's, Piper's, like all theirs. Like that's all.
No, there's no
Podcast One or whatever.
That's all. So on their online side of the satellite radio stuff, they have like 1,000 more channels because it's the internet, and who cares? And for that stuff, they actually have gone out and licensed podcast content for some of those. So I think like Comedy Bang Bang is on, or was at one point on satellite radio that way. So there's no reason they couldn't do that, but they're not devoting actual satellite bandwidth. It's not coming off the bird, as we say in the satellite business.
What's the bird?
The satellite.
Okay.
I didn't know you were hip to the lingo.
It's coming off the bird.
Stupid.
Oh man,
we can't see the bird from this part of the sky. We got to cut these trees down.
Birds aren't in space.
Got to paint the bird.
My grandparents growing up had like the traditional style of satellite dish.
Yeah,
the kind you had to like a root in the ground, and it was like 8 feet across.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's awesome. Those things are awesome.
And it was like motorized, so you had to like point it at a different bird.
Yeah, you'd have to hit a different bird.
Right.
You have to paint a different bird.
Yeah, like you were literally like dialing in, making this up, but like US East or whatever,
Yeah,
it's like
coordinates.
Sat Star Galactic or whatever.
And then you wanted like, once you hit that satellite, you just say like, I want like Transponder 9.
Right.
And yeah.
It was bizarre.
Did you watch like raw satellite feeds using it?
No, I never messed with it too much. I didn't want to screw anything up.
I never really got the opportunity to mess with one either.
Yeah.
And I feel like I missed an era of television that was really magical when that stuff was just unencrypted out there on the air.
Yeah, because
in space.
I got the sense that even they didn't know what was going to come in over it,
Right, yeah. Like you could get a book, like there was a company that'd be like, here's the TV guide for satellite TV. But it was this giant thing that was like, I don't know, point the satellite at Texas, and then you'll get this, and all that stuff is so crazy.
Like we had satellite TV for a while, and when New Year's came around, we just would watch the ball drop at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
We got the East Coast feed, and then go to sleep. It's great.
It's a hell of a night.
Yeah,
you were a real hellion, weren't you?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah,
you've got like whatever the modern equivalent is, right?
I have DirecTV, which is the tiny dish.
Like those things don't move, do they?
Nope, they don't need to. There are
synchronous orbit.
They have multiple birds.
Yeah.
Up there,
so you just like find the one with the best line of sight. Or something?
So it ends up being that you, depending on what programming package you want, you might need a dish that can hit multiple birds.
Okay.
So if you want like all the Spanish language stations, you need an oval shaped dish or something like that. Because all the soccer and Spanish stuff is on a separate thing.
Soccer bird.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, man, that shit's in space.
Wild and woolly world of satellite television.
It's not like it used to be.
No. But what is?
Nah, it's